Hi, Evan Pantazi. Wanted to talk today about Tai Sabaki. It's body positioning, and a lot of people say Tai Sabaki is moving to the outside of a person's incoming strike, so you could deflect it easier, avoid the incoming power, get to a weaker side of the person's body, etc. Other people, depending on their style and what you're utilizing as your weaponry or your defensive positioning, is just that positioning to throw a person to get them into a constrained position. And you know, different things. Everybody knows what Tai Sabaki is, especially in the karate world. Well, in the Kyusho world, we still use Tai Sabaki. And what we do though is we're not always trying to position ourselves to the outside. We're not trying to position ourselves for greater leverage. What we're trying to do is enter in. Okay, and I've mentioned this on a couple different videos, but what Kyusho needs is to interject an energetic force into the opponent's body. Now we do that by moving in. For example, if you step back to do a blocking type of an action on an incoming strike, well, what happens is that makes you step back, okay, and that step back brings your energy back. All your brain power is used to fortify the muscles, to move the leg back or the body position back or the stance back, as you will. Okay, and as all your muscles are firing and your brain is firing that energy to that rearward action, there's less forward action to intersperse into the opponent. So in Tai Sabak, we're moving forward. And that's one of the reasons I like the San Shin. It has that pointed toe position, okay, where the inner thighs are fortified and strengthened, the knees are fortified and strengthened. You move in as in a fencing step, and you have a body constriction that protects you against incoming blows. Now, a couple things about the incoming blows. People would say, why would you walk into a strike? Well, there's a couple different reasons why. If your body is strengthened so you can take a little bit of concussion, okay, as the Sanchin training goes, you can offset quite a bit of the opponent's momentum. Okay, you're going to surprise them mentally because most people that throw an attack don't expect you to move in. They expect you to move to the side. They expect you to move back, as in most Tai Sabaki actions. All right, they don't expect you to enter straight in toward them. Now, when you go in, if you take a strike that's intended to be 3 foot in front of the person throwing the strike, he's putting all his velocity, power, and intent in that 3 foot range shock. Now, if you move into the 2 foot or even closer into the 1.5 or 1 foot range, then that punch, that kick, that attack has far less power, okay, because it hasn't reached its full velocity, its full deployment. So you're going to take less of a concussion, okay, and that's even if it hits at all. Again, if you move in as the other person's moving in, there's a surprise, there's a startle effect, and that sometimes makes them withdraw. I said sometimes, all right. Now, when you're moving in also with a Kyusho strike, if you let's take a step back. If you take a step back when you're blocking to throw a strike forward and effectively interject that energetic transference into the opponent's nervous system, then it's going to be a very difficult thing, and it's probably not going to work. You're not going to have the effect, and that's why a lot of people in Kyusho struggle, because they're still operating under the old Tai Sabaki methods they use in their karate, their aikido, their jujitsu, whatever style they were doing. So what they need to do is adopt the moving in type of an action, and that's more where the fight starts anyway. Outside in the sparring range, that's still just a game, okay? A game of tag, a game of positioning. It's when you get into the clinch that's where the fight begins, and that's where the Kyusho really shines. So again, you're going to be moving in to deploy an attack on the person's nervous system. Now, when you do that, you're also going to be knocking them off balance, whether it's more to the side, more totally backwards, or even downward or upward in an arching position coming back. Okay, that is going to offset their balance, which offsets their inner brain, and that weakens their body considerably. We've discussed this before in Dragon Action and other things, other deployments of Kyusho. So again, Tai Sabak is a very important rule in martial arts, but not just for the conventional methods of positioning to get to the outside, positioning for leveraged throw, or as I've mentioned before, in the different styles, whatever you're applying to the person, getting yourself into a better position to deploy something. It's the action of moving in, which is the Tai Sabaki, which is the Kyusho attack. It's all in one. It's not a separate movement to get to the next movement or to set up the movement. You're moving in as you're striking. That's where the true power of Kyusho is. And as you're in the clinched position and you can't further move in, you've already moved in, you're going to position yourself to off-balance your opponent as you're deploying your Kyusho attack. So that is the mainstay of the Tai Sabaki for Kyusho practitioners, and it doesn't matter what style you do, you can still employ this method. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the article. And by the way, I do write occasionally articles and blogs for the Friday road trip that go with me. If you're just watching the video and not reading the text, you're missing more than half of what's going on. Coming up within a couple weeks is going to be one on Hikite. Okay, and I know a lot of people are thinking that's a withdrawing hand, but we're going to take that just a step further. Okay, so you're going to want to not only read the post, you're going to want to see it. And for those of you that are going to be seeing the portion that's videotaped for YouTube, you're going to want to read about it and get the details, and maybe even see the knockouts that are occurring using the Hikite. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you get deeper into your study, and instead of just watching the videos, really research, investigate the Kyusho.com site, because there's a lot of information that helps these videos, and then go out and get your hands on people or get some qualified instruction. Thanks for watching.